Hi, it's Maxine, Kaye, and Yoga from the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living. We're all ears tonight, and a mouth too. Hi, I just want to talk to you a little bit about so many changes taking place in our lives, so many for all of our lives, because what we've been experiencing this last year is not the first major challenge that we have experienced in our lives or in this world. And of course, the longer we've been on the planet, like Yoga and me, the more things we remember that have been very challenging. I can recall as a very small child, I can recall the end of World War II. I can recall some experiences even before it ended with air raids and so forth in our neighborhoods. Probably not many of you can remember that. There have been many wars since then. I can remember, since this is the weekend of the commemoration of the assassination of John F. Kennedy, exactly where I was. And if you were on the planet at that time, I have no doubt you can remember exactly where you were as well. So wars in between, other assassinations, terrible things we could not believe were happening in our world, in our country, in our lives. Massacres and 9/11. Many of us were here for that experience. Never ever dreamed in our lives that such a thing would occur in the world and in our own country. We didn't realize how vulnerable we were. And there were a lot of mistakes made after that. You know, the whole world was opening its heart to us. And somehow there were other decisions that were made that did not maintain for us that love and compassion in our world. We're people. We make terrible mistakes, right? And we're people. We're individualized expressions of the living God, and we do wonderful things. We create beautiful, beautiful things in our world. And we can go one way or we can go the other way. Creating, using this beautiful power for good, or disintegrating and harming and diminishing. And the choice is ours. Each one of us, no matter what else has been going on in the world that we think we can't tolerate, or we can't handle, or we can't live through. Like right now, there's so much we're living through. And isn't that the operative phrase, we're living through? We may be walking through the valley of the shadow of death, but we don't stop. We don't put up a tent. We don't build a condominium. We just keep walking. And that's what we're all doing together. And we're making better choices. But this is not the only time in history, in your history, in my history, that we have faced very challenging circumstances. It is the first time for some young people, certainly. But you see how resilient human beings are, divine human beings. We're getting through it. Yes, I know, we've lost a lot of people. Some people have become extremely ill, and some have actually perished. But of course, nobody really perishes. Life is infinite, life is eternal. And so those who did not live through this virus, or those who are continuing to die from it, are still very much alive in the heart of God, and always shall be. We need to remember that as well. That's not making light of it. It's simply looking at a larger picture. And so here, as we're commemorating our beloved president, whether you had voted for him or not, that's the first time in our recognition of historical times, those of us who were here at that time, the first time we had experienced such shock. And I don't want us ever to get to the point that we don't feel shocked when somebody is murdered, an innocent person, when somebody walks into a mosque or a temple or a church and murders people, or into a school, or into a nightclub. Let's not get over being horrified that such a thing can take place. At the same time that we lift our consciousness above that and recognize that underneath all of those horrible acts, there is a divine harmony. There's the presence of God that continues to hold us up in our experience of aliveness and harmony and infinite possibility that forever and ever exists. So, we're approaching Thanksgiving. It's time for us to start giving thanks for all of the infinite possibilities that exist for us, because we are utilizing the same mind that God uses. Oh, let us use it in a constructive, compassionate, creative, conscious, caring way. That's our job to do. And I take it very seriously. I don't take myself seriously while I do anything, but I take my responsibility very seriously to keep my consciousness high and to invoke that presence, which is always loving and blessing and nurturing and guiding each and every one of us. Let's do this together. We can do it. Thanks for tuning in today. Thanks for being with us. Come with us Sunday morning. We have an opportunity to be with you live stream. Go to our website, cslphilly.org, and just click on that button at the bottom and it'll take you right to our 10:30 live stream Sunday morning celebration. We come to you live from Paoli, Pennsylvania. And it's just Reverend Mike and the production crew of two and myself and yoga, of course. And we have a very special celebration in mind for you. Come to this isle of tranquility that we are. Come and be with us and allow ourselves to feel that divine and loving presence that lifts us above anything that may be our experience at the moment. We're coming through it. We're growing through it together. And you can check on that website all kinds of wonderful things happening, including an opportunity to make a contribution to our beloved center. We love you. We'll see you very soon.